Senac moves through the wild, blade in hand, clearing the way with calm precision. The forest is thick, but his steps are sure guided more by instinct than sight. He doesn't speak, doesn't hesitate. Far from the Senac lands, another figure moves with purpose. Soren, guardian of the Senac mountain. He walks not by duty, but by instinct. Sensing something beyond the trees, he halts mid-step. The air thickens. The forest goes quiet. Something has changed, though no sound was heard. It is not threat, not prey, but it moves with intent. Soren turns, slow and sure, and begins to follow. Senac slows, something tightening in his chest. The forest feels wrong now. His ears twitch, his fangs flash, and his grip on the blade shifts without thought. He scans the trees, cautious but ready, and turns toward the presence closing in. Senac steps into the clearing, his eyes locked on the figure ahead. As the space closes, the mist begins to rise thick, slow, unnatural. Soren roars and Senac bolts forward, low to the ground, blade drawn. Eyes locked. He closes the distance in seconds. The strikes force Soren back step by step. The Senac fights like a storm, but the dragon's scales hold strong. Each blow echoes loud, sharp, but shallow. For all the fury in Senac's assault, Soren endures it. Not unshaken, but unbeaten. They froze, but not from fear. Senac was the first to lift his sword. Not in challenge, but to the sky. "Look," he said, "it's falling." Soren's wings shifted. "At first I thought it was a trick," the dragon muttered, but more lights came, silent, endless. Senac turned, eyes scanning. "They're not stars, they're choosing where to land." Then came the flash. Not fire, something deeper. Soren looked toward it. "It's close," he said. Senac nodded. "Then we go." The beam faded, and from its last light an orb appeared. It hovered, twisted, then began to change. Senac and Soren watched in silence. The glow pulsed, then cracked. A pup emerged, small and still. Soren stepped forward, lifted it gently. "This one is of your kind." His eyes searched its face. Then Senac reached out, held it briefly. The air was quiet. And then they saw it, another star falling close. Soren turned first, his gaze following the streak across the sky. Then Senac looked up, silent but alert. A blast echoed through the forest, sharp, deep, final. The baby dragon flinched. It stood still, watching, not afraid, just aware. The two warriors faced each other, no blades drawn, no challenge. "I'm Senac," said the Senac. "Soren," replied the dragon. They didn't shake hands, they didn't need to. For now, names were enough. They stared at each other for a long moment. Two creatures born of different fire. The Senac pup moved first. One cautious step, then another. He sat beside the young dragon, close, but calm. Then the two of them leaned in, sniffing, studying, and something between them settled. Not fear, not threat, just curiosity. "Now that it seems we're a group," he said, "I have to ask your technique." Senac said nothing at first. He stood, walked closer, then paused. "May I sniff you?" "What?" Senac didn't wait. He sniffed the dragon, with arms crossed and a hint of a smirk. "What do you think of my mirage technique?" Soren looked down. He didn't speak, but his face said it all. Simple spell, clever trick. "We can't keep them. They're not ours," said Senac. "They belong with their clans," said Soren. "So we raise them?" asked Senac. "No. We start with the dragon. Senac mountain is the closest," said Soren. "Your eyes are still closed," said Senac. "I was thinking." "Not sleeping," said Soren. Night fell gently over the forest. The shadows no longer felt hostile, only quiet. Mist drifted between the trees, calm and aimless. The young one slept deeply, safe for now. The adult Senac rested. One eye half closed, the pup nestled close. Even the dragon slept still. Senac was gone, no scent, no sound. Soren opened his eyes to stillness and cold ash. Had the Senac left him, or gone ahead, trusting him to follow? He listened, not to the forest, but to the silence inside. The night had passed, but the path ahead had not appeared. A quiet breath broke behind him. The pup stirred. Soren turned slightly. Voice low. "Rest, little one, not yet. Hell return." Senac walked slowly. the morning quiet under his feet. The weight he carried now was fruit, not tension. He moved with calm, no anger, no edge. Ahead, the camp came into view. He paused, sensing worry in the air. Soren stared at the fire pit, eyes wide as if it might answer him. Then Drenak stepped into view, calm as ever. Soren turned. "You left?" Drenak raised the breakfast. "They call it Senac, a hollow mountain filled with nadril. The living mineral. It runs deep, maybe all the way to Naibar's core. No one's ever reached the bottom. Only dragons are allowed inside. Of all types, giants, gliders, breathers of ice and lightning. It's not a home, it's a sanctuary. The little one will be safe there. We're just a day away now. But it's not the distance that matters. Senac lets you in if it wants to." "If we're taking them to Senac, they need names," said Drenak. "Naming them means keeping them," said Soren. "Maybe that's the point," said Drenak with a grin. "The pup Tenna," said Soren. "And the dragon?" asked Drenak. "Orien." "It fits her," said Soren. "Tenar and Orien." "Feels right," said Drenak. They stopped halfway across the plains. The wind was calm, the sky wide. Drenak pulled out fruit he'd saved from breakfast, quiet, thoughtful. Even the young ones stayed still. A flock of crows passed overhead, fast, close, loud. The crows were getting closer and closer, attracted by the food. No one flinched, just saw them pass by. Soren stepped forward, scanning the horizon. He walked ahead alone, eyes sharp, wings tense. Orien didn't move. For a second, she was Soren. "She did it again," said Drenak quietly. Soren didn't answer, but he'd seen it too. Orien had mirrored him. Something in her was reaching. Not quite magic. Not yet, but close. They stood at the cliff's edge, forest behind them. Senac ahead. The mountain was closer now, its peak lost in clouds. They were slower than expected. Tenna tired easily, and the skies were shifting. Mist moved through the trees. The wind had weight. Still, none of them looked away. "It's more than a mountain," said Drenak. "It's a boundary," said Soren. "A test," whispered Orien. Then came the wind shift, sharp, sudden. A shadow passed over them. Then another. One dragon flew high above, scanning, then two more. Wings beat the clouds, but none attacked. They circled, watched, then returned to Senac. Then they saw it. Wings of light. Flying low, not a dragon, something else. They stood at the foot of Senac. The mountain loomed. Above them, dragons circled, watching. Soren stepped forward. "I'll go ahead," he said. "They'll listen to me, just wait, then follow." He lifted off into the sky, disappearing toward the guarded path. The others waited, then began to walk. The wind stirred. The mountain listened. Drenak glanced at Tanar, no words. Just a nod, something was coming. The fireball came fast. Drenak grabbed Tenna and leapt aside. The red dragon roared. But it wasn't after Orien, it wanted the Senac. Orien shifted, taking the shape of a fox, then vanished into the field. Drenak shoved Tenna into his coat, freeing both hands. He moved fast, cover to cover, dodging flames and fury. Then he sprinted. Harder, faster, but flight was faster still. The shadow fell over him. The red dragon had caught up. Soren came in fast, fire blazing, wings wide. He roared at the red dragon. "They're with me," the red dragon fired back. "They were not with you." Soren batted the flames aside with one wing. Drenak stayed low, dodging, reading the fight. Then it opened. A moment. Drenak struck with a flying kick. Soren followed with fire, and the red dragon reeled. But not for long. It came again, faster, almost reaching the Senacs, until Soren slammed in again. Drenak stepped back now, watching. The blue dragon grew, larger than before, a size he hadn't shown until now. They clashed again, then slowed. Flames still flickered, but neither moved. The red dragon's fire faded, still burning but tired. Soren looked up, eyes clear now. He understood. They were with him. "My name is Raukran the Red," he said. "I attacked without warning, but I was doing my duty. No dragons with them. Just strangers and a hatchling. Only dragons are allowed to enter." His tone shifted, quieter. "I saw Senacs, and something in me reacted. I let fear speak first. Then it happened at night. Kraga came, small, fast. One bit me. My scales held barely. I remembered enough to be wrong. My apologies." "No hard feelings," Soren said. "We started with fire too," Drenak smirked. "Now we're escorting hatchlings. Strange how that works." Soren nodded. Maybe that's the point. We fight first, understand later. Drenak looked ahead. They're safer now, that's what matters, but deep inside, he still wanted a battle, one no one would interrupt. They walked toward the cave ahead, but something felt wrong, too quiet. No dragons, no sound. The group slowed, then stopped. Raukran glanced at the entrance. We're not using that one, he said. He pointed to the side. There's another way, close enough. They turned without a word and followed him.